After completing another long vacation with our camper, we're starting to notice a couple of issues. And the biggest issue we've discovered is this thing gets hot. So to help us solve this issue, the people at GIDROX have sent us this. This is their new all-in-one 12-volt RV air conditioner. Now, according to the website, this has a capacity of 10,000 BTUs, as well as the ability to move 270 cubic feet per minute. This should be more than ample to help keep us comfortable in our camper all season long. Also included in the kit, you're going to get your installation guide and your operation manual, about 20 feet of power cable. You're also going to get the interior control panel, a remote control, an interior bracket to mount it inside the camper, as well as a foam gasket to help keep the rain out. And lastly, you're also going to get an assortment of mounting hardware. Now, according to the installation guide, this unit will mount up to any vehicle or trailer that has a roof thickness between 1.5 inches to 3.5 inches. So that means using a combination of the hardware, we should have everything we need to mount it to our camper. Before we get started putting our AC unit on, I have to prep our camper first. And that means we have to cut a hole in the roof. This is the part I've been dreading. I'm only gonna get one shot at this, so that means I need to double and triple check my measurements. To help me, I've created this template that's roughly the size of our opening, and I'm using it to kind of get myself positioned where I want it on the camper, and then I'm gonna trace around it, we can cut our hole. Once I have my opening outline, I'm going to use a drill to make a hole on each corner, so that way my jigsaw can make 4 clean cuts. I have to use an extra long jigsaw blade for this, and I'm going to make sure I link this down in the description. To try and not make a huge mess, inside I've hung a plastic sheet to try and catch any stray foam, and I'm using a shop vac in between cuts to collect the excess material. Well, point of no return now. Maybe. Take 2. There it goes. Next step is to add the foam gasket to the camper roof. To make sure I get the best adhesion possible, I'm prepping the surface with a little brake clean before adding the adhesive side directly to the roof. Now the last thing I want is any leaks. So as an extra layer of precaution, I'm going to be adding a bead of sealant around the base. Now any RV sealant should work here, but I'm using the GeoCell 2320. This is a sealant specifically designed for rain gutters to make sure that none of your corners or seams leak. And I've been using this stuff for years, so it is my go-to when I want to make sure something is leak-free. Okay, so we have the camper prepped. It is officially time to put the AC unit onto the top of the roof. Now, this unit is pretty light. It's only 54 pounds, so I probably could do this by myself. But in this instance, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing to have an extra pair of hands. Okay, so we've got our bracket in and we've got our bolts started. I ended up using the shortest threaded studs to put in here, and I think it's going to work. Now, the biggest thing with this is I'm going to have to tighten these in a cross pattern, kind of like I'm doing lug studs. So I'm going to start here, 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 and then here. After that, I'm going to have to tie into my power. I think I'm going to try and keep the power internal. So there's 2 options for this. You can either run your power outside of the unit and outside of the walls, or you can run interior. I think I'm going to try and run mine in the interior. I've got to connect all my plugs after that and then screw the control panel up into these threaded studs here. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up quick. Now I have my power wires connected into the unit, and I went ahead and electrical taped each of the connections so that way they're not shorting. What I'm going to do next is kind of get it tucked up in there. I've got some zip ties that came with the kit, and then we're going to start putting the panel on next. So I'll probably need 2 hands for that, because that's probably the most awkward part of the installation, is you kind of have to hold this above your head and get the screws started while you're kind of doing like a dance with the thing rested on your head. So I'm going to go ahead, kind of get this tucked away, and we'll get ready to go. All right, for this next part, I need an assistant. So this is the hardest part of the whole thing. We got to get this up and in. tell you what, hang on.
Aha.
Yeah, one way to skin a cat.
Aha. We weren't gonna find it.
Nope. Handy little tip. Take the control panel out. It probably says that in the instructions and I just didn't read it. That makes life much easier. Okay. Whew. Whew. It's in. I'm gonna have to do some more creative routing. But boy, it's hot in here. And that makes me ever more glad that we're getting this installed because I'm about melted in here. But when I finally finish the install, I'm going to route this nicer and move it to the corner. But all we really have to do now is connect it to power. So to do that, we have these 12-volt ends. Now, if we were going to put this on a LiPo battery, if we had solar, we don't have solar installed on this unit yet, so we don't have a LiPo battery, but if we did, we could run our unit theoretically on a 400 milliamp LiPo battery all night long, so about 8 hours. What I'm gonna do instead to get this unit fired up and tested is I have an inverter that'll go from 12 volt to a 110 and it'll plug into our shore power over here. And from there, we're gonna kick it off and test the unit, make sure it works. All right, I got the test inverter on. We got power, shore power. It's coming on, that's a good sign. All right, we're gonna hit on. Take this off. And I wanna hit probably should open the vents. Hey. Yeah, turbo, maybe. Is this thing on? Oh. Okay, turbo. There we go. Sorry, this is user error. Here we go. Wow. I've got so much of that foam on me yet. So, we have figured out it's working. Okay, so our system works. The next thing I want to do is we're going to pull it outside, we're going to let this thing get really hot, and we're going to put this unit to test and see how well it cools. All right, even though we lost our sun here for a little bit, it's still plenty warm out here, so we're gonna go inside and make some dinner, let this box heat up, and then we're gonna do a test to see how quickly we can cool it down with our new AC unit. All right, so we've been letting the camper sit all closed up for about 45 minutes. Right now, it's actually beautiful out. The sun's kind of went away. It's about 76 degrees right now. Let's go take a look what it is inside the camper right now. Okay. Looks like it's about 82 degrees. Now, GIDROX claims using their turbo mode, they can cool the unit down within 3 minutes. So what we're gonna do is put the unit on in turbo mode, and then we're gonna set a timer for 3 minutes and see how far we can take the temperature down. Okay, so we're gonna hit mode, get it into cool. We're gonna hit turbo, get it going for max cooling. We're gonna shut the door here and wait 3 minutes. All right, it's been 3 minutes. Let's open it up and see what it's down to. It's down to 72 degrees in here. That's awesome. Now that we know that the unit is working and working well, let's talk about features. So, not only can we control the unit from the top right there, from the control panel, but we also have the ability to control it via remote, and we also have the ability to control it via Bluetooth app on our phone, which is really, really cool, and I actually like the Bluetooth app a lot. So we can control climate modes, we can go from heat to cold, we can even do ventilation mode, we can take it into dehumidify mode, which just takes the humidity out of the camper, which is really cool. We can put it into sleep mode, which makes this really, really quiet. It'll get down to 40 decibels max, which is super, super quiet. In fact, our inverter is actually much louder than our AC unit itself, which is crazy. We can control turbo mode, which gives you that max cooling. We can do eco, and we can even turn on an interior light. There's actually a little interior light just inside here, so we have some light inside the camper too, even though we have this light right here. The one thing I really like about it is there's also a timer we can put on it, so we can control when we want the unit to kick on, when we want it to kick off, and for how many hours we want it to run. So if we want it to only run for a few hours before we go to bed and then maybe kick on at like 4 in the morning, we can program a timer right in. Super, super handy. We can control fan speed, all that good stuff. But that is it. The unit is in. I am super excited to actually get out camping and test this unit in the wild. I think this is going to be a big leap forward for us in terms of comfort and enjoying our trips. As I said before, everything I use, from the AC unit itself to all the components that I maybe purchased or all the little hardware bits, I'm going to post down in the description below so you can find links to that. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. I'll be glad to answer what I can if you're looking to do this for your own unit. But that's all I've got for now. Next time, we're going to be going ahead and I'm going to be kind of cleaning up the wiring in here and adding a few extra details to the inside of the camper to make it even more user-friendly. So make sure you're liked and subscribed and do all the things for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Happy camping.